Hey everybody, Matt here. This is going to be a quick little video on, I guess, a revolution. I guess is the overall theme of it, but more specifically, what happens when the government comes to take your guns? If that ever does happen. Hopefully it won't. This started off from a thread in a forum that I was checking out. This is one of the only two forums I go to. It's a prepper forum. It's the only one I go to outside of gun websites. Basically the question was asked, what would you do the day they come to take your guns? In the sense that the day has arrived that the government has decided to, you know, become even more abusive with their power and more restrictive of our freedoms, and their first step in that next step towards basic slavery, I would guess you'd call it, is to start rounding up guns. And a lot of people were leaving a lot of different comments and responses. You know, there was the usual, well, they can prime for my cold dead hands, I'll give them the gun, the ammo first, and all those kinds of things. And I left a comment basically saying, hey, look, you know, I do myself, my family, my country, my cause, which is freedom, liberty, the Second Amendment, those kind of things. I do them no good dying on my doorstep, or God help me if I actually do kill the people coming to my door. I got to run and hide in a hole for the rest of my life because they'll come after me. You know, I'd rather give them some cheap $100 gun or two, you know, because I've got those, and you know, just to kind of placate them, and then, you know, go and start an organized resistance to the tyranny. Okay, that's how the Revolutionary War was fought, and you know, I think that's the best move. You don't do your country and your cause any good dying on your doorstep for no reason. None of us are special. You know, I don't pretend that I'm special and somehow me martyring myself on my doorstep is going to get anybody's attention, especially to the point to where the government has become so restrictive that they're going door to door taking weapons. At that point, guaranteed, nobody outside of your family and your neighbors are going to know anything about your death, and if they do, it's going to be spun in the media to make it look like you were some sort of homegrown terrorist. Okay, that's all that's going to do. So that to me is not the smart way to do things. The smart way to do things is the way things were done during the Revolutionary War. Okay, people didn't shoot the taxman and the British soldiers who came to the door to collect taxes and impose King George's laws on them. They didn't just, oh, screw you, and start shooting their muskets at them. Okay, what they did was they put up with it, and they placated the enemy and made them think they were going along to get along, while secretly planning and organizing to the point at which they could then, when they got to that point that they thought they could form an organized resistance and actually do some good, they did. And it did. It happened. You know, if our ancestors had just started firing at British soldiers from their doorsteps without organizing and being smart first, okay, they just started killing taxmen, they just started killing anybody that came around to enforce King George's laws, we would still be a British colony. I mean, we really have to stop and think about that. We need to use our brains. This idea, this notion of this revolution, this grand revolution, that we're just going to start firing from our doorsteps and somehow simultaneously everybody's going to do it at the same time, big enough to make some sort of impact, it's delusional. It's delusional. It's not going to happen. I wish it could. God, I wish it could. I wish if our country ever got to that point that we could simply stand up for our rights and it would make a difference. That would be wonderful and a beautiful thing. But it wouldn't happen. It's delusional. That's not how the government works. They don't play fair. You need an organized resistance to be able to stop something like that from happening. You have to be able to have time to plan and to utilize the proper resources and the proper time frame. Okay, there's a lot that goes into that. It's not just I'm going to sit there and shoot from my doorstep. And I see this thing, especially I see it a lot in forums. Not so much on YouTube, but I do see it occasionally on YouTube. But a lot of times on forums and online and in blogs, and I see people talking about this stuff. We're going to start a revolution, stand up, do this, do that. And I see a lot of new gun owners, and I see a lot of young gun owners, and I see a lot of young preppers coming into this, and that's the attitude they're inheriting from the people they see, and it is a bad attitude to have. Because it's going to get them killed, and it's not going to do the cause of freedom and liberty and the Second Amendment and the Constitution. It's not going to do it any good. Okay? Anyway, guys, I just want to throw that out there. Some of y'all, I know I got some patriots that watch my channel, and God bless you. I love you guys. You know, I don't want to piss you off. This is just my opinion. Take it for what it is. But I do want to get you guys thinking about stuff. So anyway, that's it, guys. I appreciate you watching. Comments, questions, video responses, send them my way, and we'll talk to you later, guys. Thanks.